So we're dealing with hunger motivation, and in Module 38, one of the ways to try to organize the material is to realize that hunger motivation and hunger in general is not just simply a question of biology. We've all eaten when we were not hungry, when we were full. So there are other factors that go into hunger motivation. So in general, we'll be exploring all of these factors. Now, biology does play a huge role, so let's take a look at what the unit's trying to get you to think about and perhaps give you some graphic organizers to help you wrap your head around this. Now, this won't be exhaustive. You'll have to do a lot more of the legwork. I'm just trying to give you some basic outlines, so to speak, and you have to fill these in. But when we're talking about the biological basis for hunger, most of us have experienced a growling stomach and stomach contractions, and we can tell that we're hungry when our stomach does that. So yes, there is actually, the stomach and stomach contractions are one sign of hunger and are related to the physiology, but probably more important is our brain, specifically our hypothalamus. And then, of course, there are many of the hormones that we'll have to learn. Some of them initiate hunger, some of them send out feelings of satiation, meaning we're full, so they try to diminish hunger. And also glucose, which is a sugar, it's basically the fuel for the body. If you think of the body as analogous to a car runs on gasoline, we run on sugar, glucose, and that'll become important later on. But let's look at the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is actually keeping track of hunger and caloric intake. So I give you this little graphic here, obviously just as a kind of a symbolic representation of monitoring different levels and then responding, sending out messages in response to how low or how high certain levels are. Now, the other thing that's important is that the hypothalamus has different areas within it. And two of the areas that are very important are the lateral and ventromedial. The lateral hypothalamus, that portion of the hypothalamus, sends out signals to the organism to initiate eating, saying, hey, we're hungry. The ventromedial region actually signals fullness, satiety, to the organism. And organisms such as rats and other animals are much more deterministic when it comes to this. Humans can be influenced by these things as well, but most of our studies have been on rats. So let's take a look. Here's the location of the lateral hypothalamus and the ventromedial hypothalamus. And what happens is researchers have done things like lesioned the lateral hypothalamus, meaning either removed it or partly destroyed it. So that's usually what sends messages, hey, you need to eat. So imagine what happens when it's destroyed. Well, when it's destroyed, even though the rat has to eat in terms of gaining nutrients because it's hungry, it will not want to eat because the message for, hey, you're hungry, is not reaching all of the parts it needs to reach. Conversely, the ventromedial hypothalamus that says, hey, you're full, stop eating, when that is damaged, it actually results in obesity. The rat will eat until he or she dies, actually, because there's no more signals being sent out to the rest of the brain and the body to say, hey, stop eating. So you'll need to know those two areas of the hypothalamus and their relationship to hunger.